Whiskey Pop. Second pour.
That's right.
Starting now.
Right now. And today we're going to have...
Shit, we're having Black Barrel Jameson.
That's right. This means it's been twice charred.
Twice charred, and we've already twice charred ourselves.
Not to mention, we probably recently had an Irish car bomb on top of that.
We did. But more importantly, we're going to tell you, our faithful, what we really think about this.
That's right. Before we get started, okay, so Jameson is a standard triple distilled Irish whiskey.
Yes.
3 pot stills.
Okay, but explain triple distilled. This is important.
Okay, so what they're taking is malted and unmalted barley mash bills, and they're distilling them in 3 separate pot stills. So process, so they start in this pot still, then they move it to this pot still, and then they move it to this pot still, then it goes in this barrel that eventually ends up in this bottle.
Yes, exactly. So even if you think Jameson is, let's just say, oh, everybody knows Jameson.
That's true, they do.
There is a lot that goes into making
a lot
this whiskey.
And I think people would be surprised at how much whiskey actually comes out of those 3 pot stills at the Middleton Distillery, which is where this is produced. You were telling me about that, actually, that I didn't realize. So they actually also do Powers, they do Redbreast, and there's a number of others as well. So there's a lot that happens at this distillery, and this is one of them. And Black Barrel seems to be getting kind of a neat little push lately.
Yeah.
I've even seen it in like a couple of geek movies, like the Daredevil TV series.
Oh.
It showed up in the Daredevil TV series recently too. So it does have a little bit of a following.
But so it is the Black Barrel, which is referring to the fact that they age it in a charred barrel.
That's correct.
Pour it out, re-burn that same barrel, sort of, kind of. I mean, it's not that. But...
I mean,
and then they put it back in.
I think how you were saying earlier, like they've got some barrels, let's say, from Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
They're already charred. They've already had bourbon in it. And then they recharge
to actually put their whiskey
and then they throw their whiskey in it, which is interesting. That means I would think that would caramelize the whiskey that's in that barrel already, right?
So for those of you who want to know the value of Jack Daniels is... they supply so many barrels.
All their barrels go overseas.
To all these other companies. They use them, and hey, don't knock Jack.
No,
they have their place.
A lot of great stuff that we drink comes from Jack Daniels barrels, other than Jack Daniels.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That is very true. A lot of Scottish stuff and Irish stuff.
So when it comes to this Irish whiskey, Jameson is known, but what are these flavor notes we're going to be picking up in this?
So some of the flavor notes that they talk about in here is the notes be butterscotch, fudge, and creamy toffee.
Okay, now, I don't pick up the toffee because I just had that Guinness, so that kind of screwed that part up. But I do feel like I could pick up
chocolate for sure, because
kind
of
of
Guinness.
Caramely, and that's probably that butterscotch they're talking about.
I think butterscotch is predominant on the nose.
Maybe
I think what you might call in caramely right now, I think is that butterscotch sitting. If you think about a Werther's Original right now.
That's funny that you said that, because
that's pretty much what this is in a glass.
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty good.
Now, on the palate, they're saying nutty notes of abundance, with a sweet spice and vanilla. So let's see what we get out of this.
So are they using like that Japanese oak to make the vanilla-y flavor?
Now, they're not using Mizunara oak, so they're definitely using now. They are using sherry cask and oak cask, just like every other Irish whiskey.
It's important to understand, and everybody needs to realize this, that the actual chemical compounds that make vanilla taste like vanilla
is a bean,
which is a bean, but that compound is found in oaks.
Oh, you're talking about the flavor profile.
It's what makes it smell and taste like that is found in other things besides the vanilla bean.
Yeah, there's a reason why you're getting vanilla out of whiskey. They're not adding vanilla in the barrel.
No, but what you are is getting that real compound that everybody tastes the same.
Woo! This is a 40-80, right? So this is straight up 40% alcohol, 80 proof, but it tastes like, to me, 100.
Yeah, no, that's good. It has the kick I need for... if you watched our second pour on Powers.
On Powers, right?
Yeah.
Super smooth.
Super smooth.
Easy to drink. You can drink the whole bottle and not know it.
Yeah. this hits my like button a whole lot more.
I'm sure it does.
Because it's got more punch and it's good.
If you're into cask strength, barrel strength, I probably think you're going to be heading toward this. And I hate to say it, but there's got to be something to that second char.
Oh, there has to be. Now, because that is so... It's supposed to be the same alcohol content.
It's the same alcohol content. It's a 40-80, right?
Yeah.
So it's a standard Irish whiskey, but I think that second char is doing something more than changing the flavor profile. So you're not just getting the toasted oak, the toasted barrel taste. You're getting... It did something to the whiskey to make that alcohol change.
Dude.
Yeah, right.
I think it is. I think this requires some dramatic emphasis.
It's so bright in here. Now, they say the finish is very woodsy, very vanilla. I'm definitely getting the wood, but I'm telling you, there's a little kick on the end. Now, something interesting, right?
Yes.
Let me do something here.
There he goes.
This Powers comes from the same distillery.
Oh, yes.
Through the same pot stills.
Yes.
This comes from the same distillery through the same pot stills.
Yes.
I'd be curious to do a little flavor compare. I know we just had Powers here recently, but I had Redbreast in here today. I think.
Yeah.
So I think we should try a little Redbreast with this, right? See what the difference. You agree? You finished yours. I gotta get a different glass.
Meanwhile, on Whiskey Pop. So you got another glass.
I got some glasses here. So I got a little bit of Redbreast 12.
Okay. Ooh.
Now the sad thing is, this will probably finish off my Redbreast. The not sad thing is that means I'll have to go buy more Redbreast.
You know that you have true friends and buddies when they pour you
the last of their stash.
They're sharing. Sharing is, as they say, caring.
And I'm look how evenly I'm trying to make that work for us.
Movie magic. I just saw what you did. That's okay. Come on over. I've got cast strength and pinball. Let's do it.
All right. So let's see.
Oh, okay.
No, hang on.
No.
Where's your other glass?
I got
it. You can't even compare.
Bullshit.
Why you down the other one?
Well, because we like to partake, imbibe.
Okay, so right now Redbreast, and then this is Jameson.
Just smell Redbreast.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Are you smiling?
Yeah, I can't help it. It's the carb bomb talking again. See, I can smell that char more, right?
Yeah, I can smell it, but...
It's strawberry greatness in this. I know. Hang on, let's go back here.
Okay. I just had some of that, so I haven't tasted any Redbreast.
That's what I would say, too. Okay, so the spice is way down on the Redbreast, right? And we're expecting that. Very fruity.
It's
smooth.
Super. I mean.
Same pot still.
Almost like the Tullamore strawberry flavor with this Redbreast.
All right, now you take this in. Now it picks up some of that fruit. Now you're picking up a little bit more of what's going on in there, but still spicier than the Redbreast. It's interesting. I mean, this is the neat thing about when you're reviewing whiskey. If you have other whiskeys that come from the same distillery and you can kind of compare and play around with that, you can get some really neat new things coming out of that. Oh, damn.
Okay. what I'm saying is
it cask strength?
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, what are you getting?
So, the very familiar flavors from both, really.
Okay.
But here's the difference. It was smooth up front in the mouth, and then as it went back, it hit you with that spice. It wasn't the spice up front like before. Mm-hmm. So, I bet you $100 that what I just did is something they're selling.
Oh, you're probably right. Now
we need to go find that.
And here's my bet. We know this is in bourbon cask, right?
Yes, of course. But do you call Tennessee bourbon? Bourbon.
If it's coming from Jack Daniels. But here's my question. With the amount of spice that's coming off the end of this, right, on the palate,
yeah,
it makes me almost tend to believe this came out of bourbon rye cask.
Well, if it wasn't for the fact that I knew that, for instance, Powers was straight up It's a bourbon mash.
Yeah.
Bourbon mash. It's a barley mash.
So is Jameson.
I felt like this had rye in it, even though it wasn't rye.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Now realize that's just malted barley and unmalted barley.
Yeah, it had that flavor palette.
Which the story on that was, I guess the Irish at one time were getting taxed like out the butt.
Yeah.
On their grain.
Who would do that?
The Irish.
Who would tax the Irish?
So the Irish decided what they would do was switch to unmalted and malted barley, and that's why Irish whiskey kind of came about. That's the really short Cliff Notes version of whiskey in Ireland. But so most Irish whiskeys are predominantly malted barley, unmalted barley.
I will say this much is even though I still consider myself a solid Kentuckian type drinker, you know.
A bourbon drinker?
Yeah, I do love my bourbons, and of course I'm not mentioning Ardbegs, but what I am mentioning is the fact that Irish whiskey is damn good.
Yeah, I think if you're a bourbon drinker and you're just kind of getting into whiskey, right? And all you've had is a lot of Buffalo Trace, some Jack Daniels, some Crown, some Canadian whiskeys, but you haven't really jumped into the Irish whiskeys. Mm-hmm. Now's damn time for you to be doing that. I mean, you couldn't go wrong. Honestly, you won't go wrong with a little bit of Redbreast, 12 Jameson Black Label, or the Powers brand.
Let's talk price point. What are we looking here?
Black Barrel's running around $40, I think. $40.
That is not bad.
This is $55 for Redbreast, and then Powers is around $40, $35,
Cast
$40.
strength Redbreast 12-year costs a little bit more.
Yeah, this is $55, $60. Redbreast cast strength is like $80. It's like $80.
And you're saying that's $40 to $45?
$40
Hell yes. Right, that has got some value for that taste.
And honestly, I don't think I've had Jameson.
Sure.
It is a step different than Jameson, not by much. But I think that kick, I don't remember having that much kick on Jameson. I really think this Black Barrel is doing something that standard Jameson does not do.
Yeah, so because I want to piss everybody off, I always felt like Jameson was neuter. It didn't know if it was one way or the other. I felt like it was just...
That you're just passing it up because it's like the other Crown, the other Jack Daniels thing, right?
Yeah, it's very simple, but it does have a nuance of its own. It is excellent, and I'm going to tell you straight up, dude, I know we have our 1 to 5 rating.
Let's hear it.
This is a solid 3.5.
Wow.
I can tell you why.
Yeah?
It drinks like a motherfucking bourbon.
It does drink like a bourbon.
It is good.
And I'm probably in line with you on this. I would give this an easy 3.
Easy 3.
It's an easy 3. I think it's a very enjoyable whiskey. It's a very spicy
You're just
whiskey.
Copying me.
No, I'm not giving it that halfsy stuff. And I think recently on a review, you actually went schizophrenic on me and went from 2 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 3, whatever.
What the hell are you talking about? I didn't do that.
Go look at the Powers review. But in the meantime, I think this is definitely a 3. Strong.
It's a strong 3. I urge you guys, look, before you subscribe to our channel, go buy a bottle of this.
And then like and subscribe to the channel, and then share that with your friends too.
I want you to experience the fun of all the different whiskeys, and you need to try Irish whiskey if you haven't.
Yeah.
Because, like everything else, they're doing something right.
Yeah, and we have a couple of other Irish whiskeys coming up. I'm really excited about it now, because now I'm thinking, okay, we've had Powers.
Yep.
We've had this Jameson Black Barrel.
We had 12 year way back when.
Yeah, and we had that Tullamore Dew.
Tullamore Dew. I have such a hard time saying that.
I know, it's like Tullamore what?
Tullamore
So,
what?
I mean, Irish whiskey is not a letdown. I don't think this is any different. So, hey, if you disagree with us, if you just hate Irish whiskey, which that's crazy.
Just don't leave a comment.
But if you're interested or, let's say, whiskey curious about whiskey, this might be something you might want to jump into. So in the meantime, you guys continue to stay cool this week and be safe out there. It's St. Patty's week.
Hey, do the pub crawl responsibly.
Yeah, please do. In the meantime, you guys continue to be cool, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks.